read what you want. Read what you enjoy reading. And don't let anybody shame you for it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to We Know What You Like. I'm Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
And welcome once more to another distance book talk. Today is a little bit special because we're doing books 2 and 3 of this book series that we started last month. We all know this by now. I don't remember what they're called. What are they called?
So we are continuing the Bridge Kingdom series by Daniele Jensen, which we read The Traitor Queen, which is book 2, and then The Inadequate Heir, which is book 3.
And the superior one.
Yes. Much superior. Book 2 still follows Lara and Aaron, which I did learn is Aaron, not Aaron.
No, I'm sorry, his name is
Aaron.
It's
still Aaron. And then book 3 follows Lara's actual full brother, Karis, and a new character called Zara, which we do meet both of them in Traitor Queen.
Yes.
Basically, the events happen at the same time, but I thought they would be a little more overlapped, but it is it is a different story. You don't really have that much overlap. You do see a lot more behind the scenes, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of a TV show, because you get all these events happening at the same time, but other people's perspectives. So if you mush the books together, like, okay, this is what happened simultaneously, sort of thing, which I like, and because I even talked about in the first one how the first book reminded me of, probably because I was watching House of the Dragon and stuff like that. How explosive and how you can visualize the story and the place and everything. So I feel like if this ever became an actual TV show, 1, I would watch it, because I enjoy the books, and 2, it would make sense to me.
It would work really well.
I really enjoyed this series.
Mm-hmm. It was very good.
I'm so proud of myself, honestly, for stopping after reading book 2, because I read book 2 in September, right after I finished book 1. Right. I was like, I'm gonna wait until I catch up with them, and then Lucia, who was always behind, actually finished book 2 and 3 before we even started book 3.
True.
They're like, you were supposed to tell us when you started book 2, and you just pushed through all of it.
So, here's the thing, y'all. We all, I've said this before. 1, I read fast, okay? And number 2, I knew, because I was going to go to LA for a couple days, at this point, it was 3 weeks ago, I knew that the only time that I actually had, quality time to read would be on the bus. Going to LA and then coming back, So, when, on the way to LA, when I got there, I had maybe, I don't remember if it was 40 page or 40 minutes left, but 40 something, one or the other, left to read. Mm-hmm. And I went to Koreatown and or Little Tokyo and stuff like that. And then I went to a concert. So I didn't read the rest of the book until the next morning, kind of just laying in my hostel, kind of just chilling. And keep in mind, there was other chicks in the same dorm room because it's a hostel. That's why it's so cheap, by the way. I recommend. As long as no one, murders you.
Hostels are the best.
Yeah, I had my second time in a hostel in LA, but this one was much cheaper. And so there was more rules because it's literally someone's house versus the first one I did in December of last year, which was at a hotel sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of other girls in there, and you have to respect everyone's privacy. And there's a part or a couple of parts in the second book where I was trying so hard not to literally cry out loud.
Sad tears.
Yeah, so if you can guess, we'll talk about that in a moment. And then the third book, I didn't start until I got on the bus back to over here from LA. And it was 6 hours of reading, so I knew I wasn't going to finish because LA to over here isn't that long. But
it feels like 6 hours, though.
But it was nice, though, because I had my music and I had, a book to read. So it wasn't a big deal to me.
Right.
And, so when I finally got home, because I had to take the buses home and stuff like that, when I finally got home, I had 2 hours left to read of the book. And I just laid down on my bed, squashed that stuff. And then I immediately texted you guys, all right, I'm done. And then I think it was you, Mary, they're with book 2? I was no, both of them.
No, both of them.
And I was what? I think it's absolutely hilarious because a few days before that, I had definitely sent a message along the lines of the day Lucia finishes a book before I do, I'll be genuinely surprised.
Literally 3 days later. Yeah, I finished both of them. I was Okay.
But no, these were definitely books where like I'd sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna read a chapter before I go do something or whatever, and then just keep going, like unable to stop, which happens occasionally, but it's rare.
Yeah, especially with someone I don't know about.
Yeah, like something that I wasn't previously really obsessed with.
Again, it's those book covers. It's the covers. They didn't help.
Yes, the
covers are not great.
The redesign is really good. It's just the covers that you guys all saw, which is probably what you're using to put up here.
Yeah.
I think it's Dominique Wesson.
Yeah.
Is a fan artist, and she was commissioned to do those books, and it's fantastic. If you gave me the original covers, I'd be like, maybe not. But I love these covers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about it. We always never go in chronological order of the events of the book, and that's totally fine. But spoilers for anyone watching, we probably will talk about books 2 and 3, maybe intertwined it all together. So if you haven't read book 3 yet, fair warning.
Yeah. Basically, for the most part, if we talk about Karis and or Zara, we're talking about the events of book 3. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about Aaron or Lara, we're talking about the events of book 2. Right.
Except for the part where I actually fell in love with Karis during book 2.
I literally texted you guys. I really like him.
You might know what part you're talking about, though.
I was like, wow, I'm really intrigued by his character, and I want to know so much more.
Mm-hmm. I was reading book 3 before you started it, and I was like, or no, we started kind of at the same time. I was much farther along than you were. Yeah. So I was like Snapchatting them or texting them with like vague details. So I knew Lucia knew what happened. And I'd be like, oh my god, like chapter 10 or whatever chapter it was. I was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but like, Katie, wait till you get there.
Yeah. I was joking with one of my coworkers today, like, okay, because I knew I had a book review that we were going to do this today. Yeah. I was like, it's been like 3 weeks since I read the book. What the hell happened?
We always rely on you to recount the events.
Right.
And
I know.
You're relying on us who read it a week ago.
I was like, listen, do you know how many sports romances I've read in between now and then? The answer is 3. I've read 3 sports romances.
Oh my god.
Listen, are you doing better or worse than me reading young adult teen romances?
And then there's me who's struggling through an arts book, but like...
It's fine. It's okay. By the way, viewers, I'm eating Chinese food because I'm hungry. Sorry.
Yeah, we also don't know what Lucia looks like right now. We are on Discord.
Yeah.
She can see us, but we can't see her.
There you
We're
go.
just staring at the ceiling. So it's really weird having a disembodied voice. Just
look, you can see some manga. You can see some K-pop albums. Ooh. You can see my messy ass room.
Why don't we have a book?
There you go.
Because my books are still packed, Mary.
We need to set up the scene.
Listen,
we need to have the proper
when
background.
I finally get unpacked, we'll have a beautiful background.
A beautiful set. I mean, not that this isn't beautiful. We do love the ghosties. It's actually a really great color scheme, and I love this.
It is. It's my favorite pillow.
Oh, no, it's cute.
Is it this year?
I see it from over your shoulder. It's cute.
It's only like $20, but there's no way there's any left. I bought that. I bought that in like July.
Why didn't you get one for me? You should have known, Katie. I actually don't spend money on decorative pillows because those are expensive. But that's cute. I like that.
Okay.
We digress. Back to the books.
So, guys, book 2 starts
at the end of book 1.
So, what's her name? Main girl.
Laura, they go on and get.
Well, no, she was drunk and she got
his little butt captured.
Yes,
he does.
By Saris.
Yep.
Laura's dad.
Yep.
King of
Maridrina?
Yep, Maridrina. Thank you. I was like, I don't remember.
Guys,
that's not right.
We're so professional, aren't we?
Speaking of, we'll get back to that. Hold on. I had a thought. Okay.
We're so professional.
Aaron gets captured and Laura's like, well, I
gotta go save him.
I gotta save him.
So book 2, The Traitor Queen, starts with Lara. Actually, does book 1 end with her going to see Anna?
I think so, yeah.
It basically starts with her in...
Captured.
She's like in their prison, right?
I think it's Arenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's captured.
I was trying to figure that out last time, and we never figured it out. Going to Arenal, where all of Ithacana's people are basically had fled to.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know that you have like no reason to trust me, but I'm the only one that can get him out because I'm the only one who has ever had inside who's ever been inside of Mary Drina's castle, basically.
Yes.
It's castle.
So
she goes on a mission to find her sisters who are supposed to be dead.
They were so fucking badass. Those sisters.
Down. And like very successful.
Yeah.
Her favorite sister.
Prego.
Don't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't remember any of their
She finds her
names.
pregnant. She's like, well, you can't come. I can't endanger you. And she's like hell, you can't.
What do you
She
mean?
like kicks her
I'm coming
ass
anyways.
and she's pregnant.
She does,
And
yeah.
she does it again to like prove herself to what? Jor, I think his name is. And,
Yeah.
like, Anna is like, I'm perfectly fine.
I am capable.
We were brainwashed as people to think that children aren't possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys didn't read? I don't know. Did you, Lucia? Did you read the
little epilogue thing?
Storm little novella?
No.
That takes place after.
No, I was broke. I didn't get paid until yesterday, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I wonder if she can hear us anymore.
I can hear you.
Oh no.
We'll come back to that.
No.
Mom can't hear us anymore. Mom hung up.
One moment.
But there's a 6 chapter novella called The Calm Before the Storm that takes place after that. Which
Can you
has
hear me?
Very interesting. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has
well,
very interesting
okay.
information on the development of Lara and Aaron's relationship post the events of both of those books.
Right.
I
I
want
should
to
read
spoil
those.
it, but I won't. Basically, they grew up not thinking that having children was a possibility. Especially with Lara, like she's like, I'm either gonna get killed, but for betraying Ithacana, she's gone again, or I'm just gonna leave and not want to be. I'm not gonna meet anybody necessarily that's gonna give me
Right.
a reason to have kids.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Ah, there you are.
What?
What?
She doesn't think kids are an option. So
Can you hear
none
me?
of them think that they should ever be pregnant. So they're like, that's just a weakness that they would have. So the fact that she becomes pregnant and they're like, you can still fight?
Gasp.
Love that. I love how, I don't even know where that was going. I think that's where I was going with it.
It's
but
fine.
We just
Long
distracted my
story
ADHD
short,
brain.
she is a badass.
Yes.
So I
And the fact
do
that
want to
she's
ask something, or like not ask, but bring up something. I remember when we read the first one or last month when we were doing the first book review. You all jokingly asked everyone asked, like, do you all think you can survive the world of the first book? You know, like all the jumping. And I was like, maybe if I was in high school, I was a lot more active. Well, let me say, I retract what I said. No, I would die.
Yeah, I would not survive in this world.
No, I would 1000%.
So,
With my luck, I would have been one of the sisters and I would have been yeeted immediately.
So I was thinking about it yesterday because obviously I knew we were doing this today, and there's a lot of themes that are similar between, let's just say the couples, because obviously we know the first couple has 2 books, and you know the second couple is gonna have another book. I believe comes out in January, maybe. So let's just say overall themes. How would you compare the themes of the couples, and what do you think the themes are?
The themes?
Yeah, in terms of like how are they like, for example, or a trope rather, maybe not theme. Secret.
I'm not gonna lie.
A secret identity for one.
A lot of feedback on your end.
Ah, come on.
That's how we're gonna see his end.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, but like it sounds like you have a fan directly at your mic
Definitely don't have that.
every time you try and speak. Technical difficulties. Please hold, friends.
Please hold.
Can you hear me?
Can you save the bears? That's pretty fresh. It's fine.
No, I can't because Candy Crush keeps making it impossible for me to win.
Literally.
Can you hear me?
Bye,
Goodbye, Mom.
We've heard it.
This is why it sucks, guys. One day we will be in person again.
Because I just kept going.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
For
That sounds
some-
a lot better.
So for some reason, Discord keeps on bumping my call, and then when it does that, it messes up the audio. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
But this is
I
also
love that.
But this is also the most success we've had all day. Or like not all
It's
day,
true.
but since we started. For fun facts, everyone, this is probably the better FaceTime interaction we've had Editing wise.
Listen, each time we get a little bit better at doing this.
We have some form of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong. Usually it's my video or audio, but now I'm with Katie, so ours has to be the better one.
Today it's my fault, and it was bound to happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Everybody has to be at fault at some point.
Regardless, guys, regardless if anyone actually watches these videos, I still have a lot of fun chatting about this stuff with you guys.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. So.
When you move to New York, Lucio, we can just do this and drink wine.
Yeah, not when, if. Not if, when. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll go over there.
I did want to have wine tonight, but I have to drive home. That's upsetting.
Listen, you're like the only person that I could probably actually convince to move out here, so...
Considering how single I am, I get that.
We could be roommates.
You could be roommates.
Because I would like to leave my house.
I'm doing a recording, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Yes.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Hi, Dad.
You got Chinese food?
Yeah.
Didn't you ask me if I wanted some?
Hi, Dad.
Huh? How's day?
Good.
Hi. How many people here?
Hi, Dad.
2.
Is that Naruto?
No, Dad, I'm doing something.
Oh,
hi, love you. Bye.
I'm not believing.
Okay, be safe.
Dad.
Okay, have fun, be safe.
You were king crab or
No.
salmon or anything
No.
like that?
Ew.
Some good weed?
Some good weed. Yeah, actually, I'll take that.
Did they hear me or what?
Good weed's hard to come by out here.
Yeah.
Maybe a man?
This whole section is
What?
getting cut off.
Did your dad just ask you if he wants a man?
Can you go to Alaska now?
Bring you a man, maybe?
Bye, Dad. I love you. Have
Love you
fun. Be safe. Did you know he already said, bring me a man?
I did, yeah.
Man. Oh. Bring you a man. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
I don't know if
Anyways.
I trust your dad's judgment to pick a man.
My dad gets more bitches than I do. I don't understand it.
That doesn't mean he'd be good at picking a man for you.
That's true. That's true. I still don't understand it, though. Anywho, before I got cut off because Discord cut me off, I was saying that there's similar tropes in that, secret identities, hiding what you can or can't do sort of thing. Which books,
right.
Which set of couple, if you will, did you like it for better with? Did you find it for stuff like that?
I liked Karis and Zara more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't feel like... I like the secrecy of it, and I like that I knew who they were.
Yes.
And
like,
they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It
made it
more
view. It made it more fun.
Yeah.
And it was... I liked
really
it.
Well done.
I like that they didn't hate each other the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
No, they did. They just didn't know who
but not
they
in
were.
not in the same
They
way that
liked them as people.
Yeah.
And imagine if they knew who they were from the beginning.
They even mentioned that.
Because the whole time Lara is just like, wow, I hate this guy, until she realizes she doesn't.
But
yeah.
Aaron also kind of knew she was a spy.
He was
just like, I'm going to open her eyes and make her see right.
Right.
I'm going to fix her.
He was like, I can fix this.
I can fix her. It's fine.
I would agree with y'all that I like second couple more. Names.
Karis and Zara.
Yep. I like second couple more because the nature of the first book, with sister, whatever her name is. No.
We'll get you there. It's fine.
Whatever the sister's name is, like she had to play a part, She had to hide who she was. Not necessarily good at hiding it to some degree. But she didn't get to show who she really was until the second one. But that's the nature of their story progression. Versus Kiris, Zar, whatever. I don't know their name.
You're close.
Whatever. I'll get there eventually, guys. There's just supposed to be more books in this series. Anyways, I'll get there eventually. But like... knowing they knew full well they didn't know who they were to each other, but their abilities were shown pretty full frontal, if you will. And like those leaps, those jumps, they quickly were like, okay, this guy is good. I shouldn't underestimate them.
Right.
And so it was really good. Yeah. And so I appreciate a little razzle dazzle, stuff like that. I also appreciate that they had sex pretty early.
Yeah, honestly.
You're talking about Group 2, right?
And I'm like,
their sexual tension was so well done.
Yeah, I was like, yo, the scene with the bars when she's like in the little quote unquote jail thing and he's like over there. And I'm like,
my god, yeah.
I was like, are they what the fuck through those bars?
I was like, damn, okay, nothing is stopping you.
And then Otis I think it's Otis, right?
I think that's his name, yeah.
Oh, at least. His brother finds him and is like, whose window is that? And he lies to him. Right?
Yeah.
And then you go to Zara's perspective as she goes to we're really skipping. She goes to try and assassinate Silas. I don't know.
Whatever
Silas.
his name
Silas,
is.
I think it actually is his name. Silas,
so.
The king of Mary Drina. He's servicing the girl that Karis lied about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So O is like, he puts two and two together and he's like, she overhears him asking
the
magpie.
I don't know what his real name is.
Neither do I. I don't remember. Whose cell it was, and he's like, "That's Zara's," and he was like, "What the?"
And then the magpie like plays with this poor boy's emotions.
Yeah.
So that he goes and tries to murder his brother.
I know.
Karis, like, accidentally throws him out of a window, and Otis dies.
My heart broke so hard
thump,
in that moment.
The thump kept getting me. Because he kept on seeing the thump and hearing the thump.
He kept hearing it,
and I was like,
the one half sibling that protected him and like vouched for him,
and who he like genuinely really cared about.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up accidentally killing him, or at least having a hand in his like suicide.
Yeah.
But the magpie was really trying to get Karis killed.
He really was, like, the whole time.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm gonna get whoever I can to come after you, to, like, do my dirty work for you, because I literally cannot kill you. But
and then...
like you to leave, excuse me.
The magpie screws everybody over in the last... You think it's all gonna be great and fine and dandy, and everything's gonna work out. He's just like, nah, fuck you.
Like, I have the satisfaction of seeing your face, and
can we talk
can't
about
do
how
anything about it.
Awful the Empress of Valcata is, though?
Oh my god!
Literally, can you tell that we liked Inadequate Heir so much better than Traitor Queen?
I know, we haven't even talked about the Inadequate.
Listen, they save Aaron, there's a big coup, it involves a lot of people.
It's great. Everything, it's fantastic.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair to them. Because you know what else? The fact that the king, homeboy, second book, Aaron, if you will, that he was forced to watch his people come and try and save him, and then they were killed, and then hung up, and they had to watch that. And the fact that he thought that the one chick was his wife, and he was like, "This is how you do it," and then she that was
awful to me.
And then he had to break her neck as a mercy kill, basically, but also. And I was like, I do like our second couple more than the first one, but let's not get it twisted. I appreciate that couple, the first couple, so much more because of the second book. They're so fucking tough and strong, strong-willed, and they're not as clever. You know, I do like me a clever man, but you know what? They have fucking heart, and I appreciate the shit out of that.
Yeah, they really endured a lot.
Like the desert?
Telling.
Yeah. The amount of times we're like, okay, we have food, and then the food is gone. I'm like, motherfucking shit.
No, we need to talk, before we even get to the desert, when she finally gets Aaron out, when they finally, do that whole escape scene and whatnot, and we'll kind of go into a little bit more detail when we talk about Inadequate Heir, because everything was just, made so much more sense when they overlapped from Inadequate Heir to the background stuff.
I agree.
Seeing it through Laura and Arn's perspective. But when they did it finally escape, and she had to split off with Aaron from her sisters.
Yeah.
They were supposed to go somewhere else, but they were gonna get trapped, so they went to the desert. She's like, this is the only place we could go.
Yeah.
Aaron and Laura both are dying of thirst.
It's
Aaron's
terrible.
barely able to make it there.
Yeah.
She finds him covered, basically drags him. He's blind because she's covered his eyes so that he doesn't have the sand attacking him.
He eventually collapses too.
Yeah, she's literally dragging him to cover, finds him a spot, and then she's like, I know where water is, but it's gonna be a bitch to go find it.
Yeah.
And she literally goes and gets it. I think he had to come out and find, like, save her from it, but, like, oh my god. And then they, like, go through the desert. They find a little, I think, like, village or whatever, or just, like, a group of travelers.
An oasis?
Yeah. And she gets,
arrested for stealing.
Yeah, arrested for stealing. So then she's put basically in a guillotine.
Yo, it's her fucking ass.
Stripped naked. She's stripped naked. Put in a guillotine, so it's the sun is beating down on
All
you.
I can imagine is
blistering.
Like I've had bad sunburns, right?
That must
never on my ass.
Yeah. Like, not on my butt, dude.
Can't even imagine.
But then you go to Aaron's perspective in that whole thing, and he's like, alright, I gotta play it cool.
Right?
Like, I know he's human, but like, I gotta try and maybe save her.
And she really thinks that he's just gonna leave her?
Yeah, because she hears him being, like, all cocky and shit, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
And he, like, tries to, like, trade his way in to leaving with a traveling group, which he already knows is kind of gonna backstab him.
Yeah.
And they try to, and he kills all of them, but leaves the kid alive.
Yeah.
And of course the kid goes to bite him in the ass, of course. He's like, shouldn't have done that, but like, I guess it's fine. He's like, I'm gonna get my girl, and you're gonna shut the fuck up.
Right.
The kid did not shut the fuck up, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
But we loved that little sequence.
Yeah.
And then the end of that book.
That was so much.
Like, yeah. Basically, you learn more in Adequate Heir, like, why everything was sent the way that it happened from Traitor Queen.
Yeah.
So, like, it kind of speeds up because you're not in the action, so they're doing a lot of time skips. You've already read the events in Traitor Queen. So, like, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I did feel a little confused. It's like, how the hell did they get there? And then, the next one, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
To protect them. She ends up having to swim. She's like, get me on that boat. I'm gonna kill my father.
Well, no.
She does.
First off, they have sex. And a lot of blood around them, and he's like, "Why the fuck did I do that?"
I guess
important for me. Sex has happened in both of these books.
That was their best sex scene. Of course, it was important. It was better than all the other ones.
Isn't that like when he actually finally forgives her too?
I think so. Yeah.
But then afterwards, he's like, "No."
Well, because he knows his people will never accept her.
Yeah. Like
she knows that too. She's like, I was supposed to leave like 8 times, and you kept dragging me with you.
They're literally bleeding and everything, and they're just like raw dogging it, and I'm like, that's a lot of blood.
That's a lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
That's a lot of damage.
I guess.
That's a lot of damage. We love Flex Seal. Or Flex Tape, I guess. Either one. Not paid for promotion. But the end of that book, like, she's like, get me on that boat, I'm gonna kill my father. So she does. And then she's basically thrown into the water. So they've, like, successfully tried to get the gate out. But, like, they know that they're not gonna call off the people because they're more scared of her father than anything. So she's like, I have to kill him in order for this to stop. She does. They retreat because there's a storm coming. Yeah. But they fucked up the gate. So they can't open the gate to get Lara back.
And she's fucking drowning.
She's surrounded. She's drowning.
Surrounded by sharks.
And Ern's like, get me my fucking wife.
And that's why the people forgive her, because the sharks don't eat her.
Yeah, the sharks don't eat her.
This whole unspoken superstition that if the sharks don't eat you, then you're not a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah. like there are some people that like still are kind of iffy, but like,
I mean, fair enough.
Most of the people have just like accepted her. Be like, you're okay. I guess.
We'll give you one more chance because the shark said so.
I did kind of hate that, but I also kind of liked it.
Which, I'll be honest, the shark thing felt a little bit like a cop-out.
It was it was kind of flat.
Like just a reason to put them in.
I was like, oh, you're just looking for a reason for them to forgive her without trying.
Yeah, I felt that too. Which, I felt like she did a lot to make up for it, but also she did a lot to fuck it up. So, like, I feel like she personally needs to.
As much as I wanted, like, the happy ending that they got, it felt like
a bow tie.
It was a cop-out because of the sharks, Yeah.
Going back to Inadequate Heir for, like, some of the events that overlap.
Yeah.
In the Traitor Queen, you, like, think that some people die, but it's not confirmed deaths.
Yeah.
And then going to the Inadequate Heir and having the confirmed deaths, seeing his, Coraline die. When you texted the group, I was like, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
Because I was like, oh, I'd really like to see all of this from Coraline's point of view. Because you still don't really know whose plot the whole thing was, right? Because you're missing... It is
an even mix of both.
It's like a mix of all 3 of them, because Lara plays a role in it too.
Them,
So, like, I really want to see Coraline's point of view to like get that full smoke.
That shit was really so morbid.
It was.
So basically the event that we're talking about that happens in both books, but I think is more entertaining from Zara's perspective, because that's the perspective we get it from in the Untitled Heir, is her realizing that so basically Corlin brings some of the wives from the harem out to go like shopping or whatever, and comes back with the sisters in disguise. Right. So then they're like doing a little dance, and then Lara becomes the distraction. She jumps on the table during their dinner scene and is like, "Hi, father."
Right.
I was like, "Get out!"
Like faking being like really innocent and being like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared." And then they kill everybody. Literally all the guards, and they're like fighting everybody. And Corlin's plan was to get Karis to agree to it, because she knew he wouldn't agree to Zara putting herself in danger. She told Karis that Lara was going to kill the father.
Right. Yeah.
But Corlin told Zara she was going to, if I give you another opportunity to kill him, will you do it? And she's like, yes.
Right.
So she was going to do it, but then she realized as everything was happening, she's like, I will
take the fall. Yeah, I'll take the fall.
If the fall is on me, who is from Valcutta.
And it'll be Karis who has to
kill me. He has to pass judgment on me. So she's like, I can't. Because she also thought that Lara was going to, or kind of thought, realizing that, because Karis, like, somehow gave her a secret code of, like, this is the plan that I was told.
Right.
And I want to make sure you know it. And she's like, I was not told that plan. And she realized, she put everything together from the, like, code that he was saying. And she's like, shit, I can't kill him.
Right.
So she tells Corlin no, and Corlin, like, freaks out and then takes the fall. She's like, somebody had to. Which like, had to be me, because it couldn't have been
further solidifies how much that woman loves Karis, too.
Yeah.
And it's not even her biological kid, but she's like, you think that the harem wouldn't fight back? Right. Like, we love all of our kids as if they came from each one of us.
And then the amount of times, like, she kept on saying, not in a bad way, kept saying, but the amount of times she kept on saying, like, you took them from us, you led them to their death, this and that. It's like, ooh, read him that motherfucking right act, please.
You tell him all the shit he did.
But they finally go through the events of them finally, like, leaving, but, like, Karis is like, everything's fucked up, this was not the plan, so he's, like, flying on the seat of his pants, but Zara's like, I can fix this. I work great under pressure like this, when the plan goes to shit. I will help you figure this out.
Except she murdered a man and then had to ride in a trunk with him.
Stuffed in a trunk with a corpse. And then they finally shove him overboard. But during that, we are in Karis' point of view, because he leaves her in her room, in his room, to be able to smuggle her out. And that's where he's like, where is she? Because he knew she wasn't dead yet.
Yeah.
So she was thrown in a hole, like in the pit or whatever they called it. Right. And he's like, that's not good. So he like goes to see her, and she's like, come on, my child. You knew this was gonna something like this was gonna happen. So just bring me some wine.
Yeah.
That was his fatal flaw.
I know.
Wine down for her. And she's like, gut out before they see you. And then he hears glass. And he looks down and he's like, Corlin? Auntie? And he's like, get me a healer. And like starts freaking out. And she's like, I love you, my boy. And I'm like, no.
Going
really weeping for this man.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah. I did cry.
Good.
But I knew at that point y'all hadn't read it, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah. So again, when I had read it, and Katie's like, I want to know about Corlin. I'm like, girl, she's dead.
I still want her point of view, though. Yeah. I still want it.
I was like, Queen, she's gone.
Girl, she dead.
I want to be in her brain, because she had such a fun brain.
I loved it. I just think the Untitled Heir was so much better for those events that we already saw happening, because you got more context.
You did,
it was more filled out. Like, I already liked the book from the beginning, where it was a really slow build of not even mistaken, just secret identity. Yeah. They just knew they were enemies, but they were, like, not. Mm-hmm. We didn't even talk about the beginning of that book, but it's really fun. But once Zara was captured and the flip switched for Karis, and he was like, I have to protect her. Yeah. And we finally caught up to Arn and Lara. Yeah. I was like so much more invested, because I was like, I know what's happening. Yeah. I've read this, but I want to know what else is happening, because something else happened.
I felt really bad though for Karis in the beginning of their first book, because he's just taking the tunnels, he's ready to go to school. And then he starts having this flirtation with one of the guards. Yo, he had her titty straight in his mouth.
He was so into her too.
Yeah.
He was like,
And he still thinks about her even after he meets Zara.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't get her out of my brain.
And poor boy just never got to go to school either.
No.
I know.
All he wants to do is study.
He was so upset. He's like,
they used his,
which is why when we were talking about the last book, I was like, I need to shut up.
what is it called? His father used his passion against his son. Something that I also find really interesting is that the father would always actually stand up for Curious. It always made it seem like before. It made it seem like how much he didn't like him. But for one, the father, the king or whatever, thought that his son was going to change. He was going to eventually go to their tune of being evil dipshits. But he, Curious, so redundantly wanted them not to be the same. Oh, because, one, his mother, but also, just going back to the second, hold on. Oh, shit. Sorry guys, I accidentally, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I accidentally exited the phone call. Sorry. So going back to the second book real quick though, can we talk about the trauma that, everyone is going through? Even the third book with, how Zara, what's her name? Zora, whatever. How her mother, how her mother was killed and everything by that, her bitch.
Right?
I was like,
Hung up.
Literally begging for Zara's life, like, please spare her, and he's like, I will. So Silas, it's Silas, I'm pretty sure it's Silas.
I think it's Silas.
The king of Maridrina is like, fine, I will. Decapitates the mother and strings up her body and leaves her head in Zara's lap as she's chained and has the blood dripping on her and stares at her dead mother's head.
Right.
I'm like, that's disgusting and trauma and whatever. But you learn that
bitch
the
ass
sister,
the
fucking queen Empress of
Valcata
the
fucking
sister
sent him there
was like, do this for me because I know that she's gonna get it and she doesn't deserve it.
Because she's besties with the magpie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The magpie makes me so angry. Also, but Zara's sentence at the end for like being a traitorous little bitch,
right,
is not to be murdered like everyone thought she would be. No. But I mean, you wouldn't get any more book out of it if she did die. Poor Karis.
Also,
she gets sent somewhere. I don't remember where, but it's like the worst place that she could.
It was a jail. It was like a really bad jail.
It's a jail, but like it's really awful. Like should not go there.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about Zara's friend?
Oh yeah.
Like
no. Tries to save her. And Karis has to
kill
her.
And
but he didn't want to do it, so she does it herself.
So she just like whips. I'm like, the bravery for you to first of all get that. Like he did not have that much pressure on your neck for you to just be able to like and kill yourself in one try.
And she's like, tell Zara that I love her.
Yeah. When Zara finally learns the truth, because the magpie
he likes to
told her. Yeah. And because she was like, why is Karis avoiding me?
Yeah.
Because he was really avoiding her.
He didn't know
like,
how
I don't want to tell her. I'm not gonna break her like that. So the magpie tells her, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna kill Karis now. Okay. And he's like, let me explain, please. And she's like, she did it herself, didn't she? And he's like, yeah. I'm so sorry. And she's like, no.
That broke me.
Everything's awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, she did not deserve to die. But there's so many deaths.
There are so many deaths.
In this book. Danielle's not afraid of the stakes. She'll kill anybody.
Honestly.
I honestly appreciate it, yeah. Break my heart.
I love a good death. Literally.
It's always a little bit unrealistic when you get to the end of stories like this and everybody's alive.
None of the inner circle's dead.
Yeah.
They're at war with so many countries. More people should die.
Somebody has to die, yeah. Somebody important that you have a name that you're attached to should die, which is why every single character we've met who has had a death, you felt attached to, even if you've only spent one page.
Yeah.
The beginning of the Bridge Kingdom, I was like, I've read 3 pages on this man, and I'm crying.
Right.
Because he just killed himself.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of information that you've given me about this man, I'm attached and now he's gone, and now I'm upset about it.
What a mood.
But you did it anyways. So whatever. But I've genuinely been attached to every single character that she's killed.
Mm-hmm.
I have felt bad. Mainly for the main characters and their relationship with them, but I felt bad the entire time.
Yeah.
Also,
these books 10 out of 10.
Yes, but also you said Mary, you feel mostly because of the relationship with their main character. I agree, obviously, but I also, because we get to learn about these side characters and their hopes.
Yeah.
In the short amount the short amount of time that we're interactive with them, we learn about their hopes and their wants, and the fact that they don't want any of this, but they're doing their duty. You know, like the chick that was in the channel with Curious, she wanted to, you know what I mean? It's like, damn. And honestly,
you get full stories. They're not flat characters.
Honestly, props to what's her name, Danielle.
Yeah.
Whatever the writer's name, props.
Yes,
yeah.
But yeah, it's just really good. I look forward to the next book. Mary, I think you said that there's going to be even more after the next one, right?
I think there's supposed to be 6 total, so there's at least 3 more,
right? To
my knowledge. There is the novella that you guys should all read. It's called The Calm Before the Storm. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but it's available for like $4 in ebook form on the author's website, which gives you more insight on Lara and Aaron. And I like wanted to say it, which is I kind of like did hint at as I was discussing stuff. I was like, I really shouldn't talk about it, but whatever.
I also want to bring up another thing.
There is a sex scene in it.
From the second book. I want to bring up, a couple of more things from the second book. So I guess technically I kind of brought it up, but there's even more. So when Aaron was, quote, chained up and all these people are coming to try and save him and they're getting killed, there's a moment where he contemplated killing himself to stop it all.
Yeah.
And
like, don't you take yourself out.
yeah. It was so cool seeing the dual perspectives from his book and from the second and third book. Anyways, but I truly, truly commend. It's heartbreaking, the fact that he cares any of these people care so much he's a king of his place, and he's tired of seeing them flaunted, if you will, in front of him. So I cried a bit on that point. And then the part where I said in the beginning where I had to try not to cry out loud, so because the other hostile people were in the same room, was the part towards the end when what's her name? Laura, what is that her name? Whatever. She was his wife.
His wife. Laura, yeah.
Yeah. When she was drowning and I tried. I was like, Lucia, please don't cry. There's people around you that don't know you. And although maybe that would be therapeutic,
maybe.
But yeah, that was truly heartbreaking. And they got her through, but she wasn't breathing.
Yeah.
Like let's not forget that she technically, quote unquote, died, and she
did technically die.
Yeah. And she came back. And so I think that also helps with the fact, the sharks didn't get her. Well, she also came back. So it's also kind of like a dual sort of, she's a good sort of thing. And I agree, Katie, though, that I do feel like the shark thing kind of felt like a nice bow tie for them. I didn't like it, but I still kind of liked it. I feel like there could have been more, but I understood it sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, so there is that I wanted to bring up, that I felt for the character, just like I said earlier. I did like Aaron so much more following the second book, or with the second book, more than the first one, which makes sense, because in the first one, he kind of feels like a warrior, yes, but a thrill-seeking king, kind of someone who, obviously your wife is from another kingdom, why didn't you see this, so many things, so kind of naive, if you will. And this one,
you do get more dimension to him in the second one.
Exactly. And so through all of these losses, through all these losses, he's grown up, and as much as it sucks when people die, we do grow from them.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Laura, for accidentally betraying. I'm just kidding. So there is that. And then I did like the little pieces that we started to get from Curious, and I knew that there was something going on simply because with a Curious and what's her name, simply because the way he was at Zara acting around her with when Magpie was around and everything. And they kept on saying, "Oh, here he's so much smarter than he appears." Like, even Aaron made a note, like he looks sort of this way, but his hands, Kyrus's hands were like clenched and everything. I was like, "Nah, bro, there's something more," which actually made me really want to read the third book. And so when I did, I was like, "Fucking knew it!" They smashed, but it's so much more than that. There was so much more
they
than
did
that.
it for like 4 weeks straight on a boat. So
well, before that, before
I know.
Sacred.
Yeah, which we didn't even talk about their actual relationship beforehand. I loved that Kyrus was like fighting against trying to be the heir. Like he's like, I don't want this. I'm not a warrior.
The inadequate heir.
And yeah, the inadequate heir. When I read that, knowing what the third title was, it went in the second book. I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. He's literally fighting, and everybody's like, you've never sit in the war room, why are you changing your mind now?
Right.
And it's all because of Zara. He has this relationship with Zara. He also, like, low-key is a traitor. Like, he gave trade secrets
low-key,
to Zara to be like, if you can beat them at the water, if you can beat them and, like, do an ambush on their ambush, like, we might be able to stop this war. At least a little bit. And everybody's like, on both sides are questioning how they knew that, but it's like, whatever, everything's fine.
I was like, come on, guys. Clearly there's a spy.
Yeah. But like,
can we talk about his betrayal too?
Yes, but his like behavior flips, and everyone's just like, "Oh, he's finally embracing this." Yeah, and really, only the magpie is questioning it. Mm-hmm. It's like, something's not right here.
Something is wrong.
You've literally been fighting against this your entire life, and he does play the fine line of like still being disobedient while kind of throwing it in there. Yeah, like maybe
I'm so sorry, guys. My camera's losing storage, and we need to cut this because.
Okay.
Hold on.
His betrayal, like what betrayal?
Hold on. I need to erase a couple of things off of my camera.
Okay,
and then we can continue.
If we're not going to discuss the book, we could just cut this here on our side too and just leave it a big cut.
I mean, I'm gonna leave it running so it does its thing, but
what book hat am I wearing? Okay. That's today.
You just have to ask yourself what hat you were wearing.
Yeah. I do want to continue talking about this, which is why I'm not like saying let's be done, you know? Basically, what I need to do is get a bigger memory storage.
I feel that.
What a mood.
Yeah.
So what is the betrayal that we're talking about? Like, Kyrus's betrayal or him getting betrayed?
Kyrus's betrayal. He's like, I know how to do this. And I was like, what the fuck does he mean? Because I thought at first, because they were talking about which areas that everyone should attack.
Oh, the end of the book. Okay, yes. Okay, I was. This is something that I wanted to talk about. Basically, the whole point of the Traitor Queen and like, Aaron like agreeing to being taken out and taking Zara is that Herondel, I think that's what it is,
something like that.
One of the other places is already. I think Herondel was actually frozen. Either way,
the last stronghold of Ithacana.
Yeah. The place that starts with an H is already agreed to fight on Ithacana's behalf and the North Watch to take back that part of Ithacana, while Ithacana and whoever is from that place takes Midwatch. So then they needed Velcata to take the South Watch.
Right.
And Kyrus is like, they're gonna get wrecked. So he comes up with a plan and tells it to Silas. Again, I think it's Silas. Whoever, the king of Marydrina.
Right.
Tells it to his father. And is like, this is what you should do. Because this is where they are. And that, Ithacana's not a place, it's a people.
Yeah.
So if you get rid of the people, you're gonna win. So he's like, okay. So they just leave enough people to make it look like there's a lot of people there, and there's like 6 guards. So then, in the Traitor Queen, we're hearing the blares go off. They're like, yes, we've won, we've taken everything back. And then everyone's like, wait a second. That looks like our home base over there is getting set on fire.
Yeah.
Because they were. So then you learn, you learned in the third book that it was Kyrus that came up with it. And then Zara, you go to Zara's perspective of her taking back Southwatch. She's like, this doesn't feel right. And she's like, that son of a bitch, because Kyrus is there.
Right. And the whole reason he does it is so that Zara doesn't die in this battle.
And she basically is like, I never want to see you again.
Because she was trying so hard to redeem herself from not warning Ithacanna from the original invasion.
She saw it beforehand.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're all enemies, so it's fine. So then she, like, finds the same people who would be willing to betray Valcata and be like, you're gonna come do this with me. And Kyrsta's like, I don't want her to get her, ability to become Empress taken away from her.
Yeah.
So
he's like holding on to this.
It's not a traitor's thing if you didn't
dream.
If nothing was here to happen. You killed 6 people instead of like 60, so like we're fine, everything's fine. But that was extremely sad, and then Zara gets found out anyways because the bad guy's a bitch.
It's true. My man's just wanted a happily ever after.
And he really can't.
Still hasn't gotten it.
Which is why I'm excited for book 4, because give me more.
I'm interested to see how this like partnership with Lara and Aaron go to save Zara.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Also, in case you guys didn't know, Aaron and Lara are no longer like main characters. Their main character story were from the first 2 books, so I'm guessing the main characters are going to be Zara and Karis again for book 4.
Yeah.
And then either continuing or we'll meet new people that will also follow, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. My camera's back on if y'all can put your headphones back on.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, I want Karis to have nothing but the best.
I do hope,
long live the new king.
Right? I do hope at the end of all of this he gets some version of his happy ending.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
He's had too much.
He's desperately tried so hard not to be like them. In reality, his mind is so sharp. Like, if he was an actual bad guy, oh man, he would be game over. And then the thing is though, it's like, I was thinking about this. It's like, he chose one person over the many.
Yeah.
In terms of survival. And how does that make... You kind of talked about it while I was getting Bree set up. But, like, how does that make Zara feel?
Right, yeah.
That,
he
like,
always chooses the many.
Yeah. Which is why
exactly. And it the amount of guilt, it's like the man that I love, the man that she thought she knew, only turned out to be the person that she thought she hated, basically.
Yeah.
And it's also, I would like to point out also the fact that he said it a couple of times, because obviously Curious didn't know like the shenanigans that his sisters, especially Laura, were going through, so he literally thought his sister was a traitorous bitch, you know, bad person. And so the fact that he ended up doing something that he did, what he did, knowing full well the consequences,
right?
Bruh, it's a sad poeticness to it. In fact,
there are a few things that I want to point out. I really loved their nicknames for each other, which were literally just where they're from.
Yeah.
And and when she finally did learn that he was Karis, she started calling him Karis because she hated him.
Yeah.
But he continued to call her Valcata until the very end when they finally got together again, and she was like, I want you to call me Zara.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Oh my god. And then everything was shit.
I love it.
Another thing, the fact that the only reason they met is because she was like, I'm gonna just kill him. I'm gonna sneak over to
I know.
She went over there to murder Karis.
And he's like, hold on a second, who's that bitch? That's shady. And he follows her into the brother's room.
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh,
letters.
An official seal steals all the letters, which are the love letters of Otis's dead wife. So he's like, well, those can't be gone. And he like chases her. He's like, just give me the letters and I won't kill you. You can run free. And she's like, fine. He's like, you have to swear it. And she's like, I swear I will give you every single letter.
Yeah. Which
they live by their honor. So she said it. She had to. She accidentally keeps one. She's like, well, I gotta fucking find that bitch again.
Now I gotta go back.
Now I gotta go get her again. And she's like, I'm sorry, this was mine. And then they just have this relationship. And it was very cute.
It's so cute.
It was
There's a lot of sexual tension that finally paid off. And then both of them spent too much time together on each other's side. And she spends too much time on his side in Maridrina, which is when she gets captured.
Yeah.
She wakes up, which, fun fact, so Karis has the same color eyes as his dad. Bright blue.
I know!
She always sees him at night. So she's like, oh, well, I don't know what color his eyes are. she sees him in the daytime because of that last night that they spent together. And she's like, "You're fucking Karis?" And he's like, "Yes,
me, bro."
That's like I thought we weren't doing names, Valcata. And she's like, "But you're Karis." And he's like, "This is why I didn't want to tell you my name because my name is Poison."
I felt as soon as she opened up the window, I was like, "No!"
Same. I was like, don't let the light in. Away. Don't let the light in.
Don't let the light in.
And then my second thought was, you dumb bitch, how did you not know it was him?
Honestly, though.
Like, every other aspect that you learned about him beforehand
right, you had
was
like
correct.
You had like a full physical profile of this man, and you were just like,
and the only thing you missed were the eyeballs. And you're like, no, he's fine. You literally slept with him. Like, you can't change your mind now. You can't switch up. You're like, I went there to kill you. And he's like, well, you didn't kill me. So then he's like, then kill me now. And I'm like, no, Cameron.
I know. She's like,
I can't. And then she gets by Otis.
She called him on the bluff.
Like, Karis like flips shit, and he's like, not today.
Also, I do like going back to her friend, her confidant, real quick. I like how she was the one person that kept on telling
her to keep going to her lover.
Like, your aunt is the one who's trying to make you a replica of her. She's trying to keep a constant thing of war.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, that's not my aunt. And
it comes back to bite us at the end when she's like, I tried so hard to not make you like her, and you still ended up like her.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, bitch.
I know.
Okay.
I know. The fact that no one came to, like, her aunt basically was like, I'm not going to go save her ass. She got captured. I was like, bruh.
Like, she deserves it, because they thought she went to see a lover from Mary Gina, which, like, she did. But...
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was Karis of all people. She's like, you are a fucking whore. And I'm like, hey.
Thanks, auntie.
She just is good sex.
Yeah.
Essentially is what it was.
So, I'm waiting for the next book.
Yes. With bated breath. We'll read it immediately. We'll probably skip over whoever's month it is. We're just going to read that book and then talk about it that month. Sorry, calling it now.
Fair enough.
Very good, very good.
Speaking of which, Katie, what is our next book?
Oh, yeah. So, it's called Mercy's Light, Lucia.
I know we talked about it being a different book last month, but we've changed it.
I did change it.
We're safe.
Okay.
For now.
I'm eventually
we're
gonna read that book together, but so
the barbarian one.
Yeah. But Mercy's Light is a sci-fi fantasy novel written by the axolotl TikTok lady.
The axolotl what?
She got famous on TikTok for breeding axolotls. She doesn't breed axolotls anymore. She writes books now. But it has really good reviews, and it's on Kindle Unlimited right now.
You can't see my camera, but I just found it on Kindle Unlimited. I'm about to download it and take a month to read it, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see how the next month goes, if we're being honest.
It is not on my list for the next at least 2 weeks, so it'll be the third book I get to.
Okay. Do y'all have anything else to add?
I would say final ratings.
Final rating, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. All 3 of them were.
What would y'all rate the series? Yeah, I was gonna say, what would y'all rate the series?
I mean, I gave all books 5 out of 5. I guess if I would go, after having read this third book, I would go back to the first one and rate it a 4.
That's fair, I think.
So rank them 3, 2, 1. What's yours ranked?
100%, literally 3, 2, 1. Like
in that order,
to the first book.
Same.
The first book you need to read it, but like the third, Inadequate Heir, was significantly better. There's a more entertaining story.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to have read the second book, obviously, to understand the time jump for the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the third story so much better than I liked Lauren.
I just like their personalities more.
Their relationship also seemed a little bit more believable, I will say.
That's fair too, yeah.
It's probably because, like, with Aaron and Laura, there was a level of... No, not a level. There, for sure, she was keeping herself hidden, like her true self.
Yeah.
And while, obviously, Karis and Zara, they didn't know who each other were. They knew who each other were.
They knew their hearts. They didn't need to know their titles.
Exactly.
And that was significantly better than knowing the titles and not knowing their hearts, which is what we got from Laura and Aaron in the first book.
Yep, which is, again, I appreciate it. I like them so much more in the second one. Like, Laura's fucking badass. Like, her sisters, like, when they all came together, like, when how many are there? 7, 8, however many there are. When they all came together, I was like, let's fucking go. I was literally on the bus. I was like, fuck yeah. Let's get it, ladies.
Honestly.
They were so cool. They were really cool.
Get your revenge, girls.
Yeah, literally.
I do like how, what's her name? Kyrus's aunt slapped the shit out of Aaron's grandmother.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I'm a little disappointed that every sister survived. Not one of them died.
I thought one of them was going to, yeah.
At least 3 times I was like, one of these bitches is gonna die. None of them did. At least not.
Wouldn't it be funny if the next series is the love interest for each of the siblings? And that's how this story continues.
Sorry, but the pregnant sister's love interest, like that husband, doesn't seem interesting. He's like a fucking farmer.
He does not seem interesting. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I can do another Bridgerton situation.
Where each book follows a different love
story. By the
story.
time we got to the last, 2 or 3 books, I was like, I'm reading the same story.
Francesca's book was good, okay?
I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm just saying they started to get repetitive.
I think that's just her writing style. With that being said, am I excited for Bridgerton Season 3? Penelope and Colin?
Heck yeah.
Bet your bottom dollar I am.
Do they have a date yet? I have to go out there to watch the whole thing, so you can come with me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
You have to go out there to watch the whole thing?
Yes, we're going to do the same thing for Season 2, which is where we binge the whole thing in one day.
Oh, I'm so... Please tell me when this is, and I will make it happen if I have to.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen, even if it's literally just 3 days that we're gone. Please.
They don't have a date, though, right?
Probably
not. No, not a date yet.
Next year.
But for sure next year. I know, I don't know if they're done filming, but they're currently filming for sure.
I will say, if it's holiday season, y'all tell me when you watch it, and I'll just Skype it.
No, I feel like maybe summer.
If it's in the summer, it definitely could happen.
Summer
feels
realistic.
Well, yeah, probably, because there's not going to be Stranger Things this summer, because obviously they haven't even started filming yet. Yeah. So maybe it'll be like the next quote unquote blockbuster for the Netflix summer, if you will.
Right.
Or spring.
You're gonna watch the whole series and then record 9 episodes to put out once a month or once a week.
You haven't seen any of it
for Season 2?
No, I've seen Season 1 and Season 2.
Oh,
it's the fact that it's gonna be 8 episodes long, and you're gonna watch all of them and then record 8 hours of videos.
It took us 12 hours?
That's wild.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was fun though.
We brought a crap ton of snacks and we ordered lunch and dinner, and it was fun. It was a good day.
Can you tell I didn't watch your videos?
It was a good. Yeah, it was fun.
And it was just a lot of ours too. Yeah, unrelated.
I look forward to it though, regardless.
Yeah.
However it happens, we'll figure it out.
Yes. My ranking is also 3, 2, 1. It's really funny because I saw that the book, because I was reading it on my phone. That's like, okay, so and so pages until you're done, on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I was like, none of this has gotten resolved yet. What the fuck? And then when I was on the last page, I was like, motherfucker, they're doing it again.
I know. I really thought this was going to be the last. I literally told you, I was like, I think the first 2 are a duology, and then this is just a spinoff, and I think it's done. And I looked everything up on the internet, and I was like, guys, we're safe.
It's not done.
There's more.
Yeah, but now we have to wait.
I know, which is really sad. But you guys should read that novella.
Yeah,
it'll give you a little more information, and
I definitely probably will, considering the 4th one isn't out yet, so I have a little bit more time to read it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah,
I looked up
maybe I'll probably read it closer to when the next one comes out, so I'll be a little bit fresher.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. My ranking is also 3, 2, 1. I really look forward to how, because this isn't a romance series, obviously, so it doesn't need to end in a happy ending.
Right.
But I can't see them not having an happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder.
For specific characters, there should be whatever I read last should be a happy ending. You can kill everybody else off, but if the last sentence should be a happy ending, please, thank you.
Yeah.
Whoever I'm stuck
with. It's the amount of times. It's I just spend so many hours with this couple, and you're gonna tell me that one of them fucking dies?
Right.
What are you, Nicholas Sparks, killing someone off? No.
Veronica Roth? I just feel pity on that, and I was like, I hate it.
Have y'all ever seen the movie One Day with oh my gosh, I forgot their names.
Not surprising.
The movie's
sorry.
Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Still no, but Okay, at least I know her.
And I recommend it. It's called One Day, and Anne Hathaway is in it. And I remember this was several years ago. I was eating dinner, and I was like, let me just watch something while I'm eating dinner at the table. And I'm sitting there, food's done, and I just sit there the rest of the time watching it on the movie on this exact same tablet that I'm watching this on, actually. And I'm just like at the table, like, the fuck is this? I was so upset, but it was worth it. I recommend, considering what we were just talking about.
Right.
Yeah, that's my movie recommendation for you all today.
Very good.
So overall, we enjoyed this series. We hope you guys do as well. We're gonna continue this. Hope you guys do, and join us for the ride. Catch up with us.
Yep.
True,
yes.
True.
I'm sure there's so much more. There's so much more we didn't say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that always happens, especially, but even more so now that we're talking about 2 books for this one.
Yeah.
Which we've learned.
Yeah.
They're all different books, so we will just do one at a time now.
True.
I really thought it'd have but it didn't.
While I did enjoy our second couple more than the first couple, I'm going to re-say it. Second book for our first couple made me appreciate them so much more, and I'm honestly thankful for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would say this
I have nothing else to say.
I got nothing else to add.
Katie, what about you?
What?
Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think I've said all I needed to.
Sign us off, Lucia.
Right here. All right, so this was Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
And this was Book Talk. Tune in next month. You know, it'd be kind of fun eventually. when we're in person together, to do a live book one.
That would be fun.
Live reading.
Like, even if no one shows up, it should be kind of fun.
It would be fun. You can let the Patreon pick the book we read.
I got the following on
that'd
TikTok,
be fun.
so we do 2 of them at once.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
No one ever cares about my TikTok. It's
Ideas.
fine. We got this going.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much. We'll see you next month for Katie's pick. I forgot what it's called already. It's okay.
Light. Which it is
Mercy's
a
Light
series, and there's only 2 books out, but we're going in.
Yeah, going in hard.
Okay. So, Lucia, when's your turn again? Next year.
Next year. Sorry.
We don't have to read the second one right away.
But what if it's good?
Yeah, then, if it's good, we'll read the second one. If not, we'll see.
Story.
Lucia's pick in December.
We'll see.
All right, guys. I have nothing else to say. Thank you all so much. Write down in the comments what your thoughts are of the first 3 books. Do you like so-and-so characters? What were your favorite points that we didn't even mention because, well, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot that happened.
I said it in the first book, actually. I do really like the political intrigue and warfare sort of things going on, and that was even more explored in this one. So, thank you. All right, I'll see y'all later. Well, we will all see you all later. So,
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.